Ambassador Theknor's scales rippled with barely contained fury as he slammed his clawed appendage against the obsidian table of the Galactic Council chambers. The sound echoed through the crystalline hall like a death knell. The humans must be taught their place, he hissed, his translator struggling to convey the venom in his words. They dare reject our tribute demands? They dare mock the Zarketh Dominion. Around the circular chamber, representatives from 47 species murmured their agreement. The humans were newcomers, barely 2 decades since first contact, yet they had already proven themselves frustratingly stubborn. They refused to bend knee, refused to pay the protection taxes that every civilized species contributed to the Council's coffers. Council Arbiter Velshan, a towering being of pure crystallized energy, raised one luminescent appendage for silence. The matter is settled. Economic sanctions have failed. Diplomatic pressure has yielded nothing. The human government has 3 cycles to comply, or we authorize military action. They're primitives, sneered Representative Kaldoth of the Vrex Collective. Their ships barely achieve quantum slip. Their weapons are chemical propulsion. We could obliterate their homeworld with a single dreadnought. What none of them realized was that human ambassador Sarah Chen stood in the observation gallery above, listening to every word through her earpiece translator. Her face remained impassive, but her jaw tightened. She tapped her communicator twice, a prearranged signal. 3 cycles later, the Zarketh Armada arrived at the edge of Sol system with fanfare and ceremony. 200 warships, each the size of a city, their hulls gleaming with adaptive shielding that had never been breached. Their weapons could crack planets. Their troops had conquered 100 worlds. Fleet Commander Jakris opened a channel to Earth, expecting the panicked surrender of a doomed species. Instead, he got Sarah Chen's face on the view screen, her expression serene. "Commander," she said calmly, "you've made a grave error." Jakris's mandibles clicked in amusement. "We offer one final chance. Surrender, pay triple tribute, and accept Dominion governance. Refuse, and your species ends today." Sarah leaned forward, and for the first time she smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. "You came here asking for war," she said softly, "but you don't understand what that word means to humans. War is what we do to each other when we're bored. What we're about to give you. We call that a conflict." Before Jakris could respond, his sensors erupted in alerts. They came from everywhere and nowhere. From the asteroid belt materialized 1,000 human vessels, not the primitive ships the Council had catalogued, but something else entirely. Sleek, angular, with weapon signatures that made no sense. Behind Mars, 6 massive stations uncloaked, bristling with railgun batteries that the Dominion's intelligence had somehow missed. "Impossible," Jakris breathed. "Your technology level was a lie," Sarah interrupted. "You see, Commander, humans learned something important in our history. Never show your full hand until you need to. While you were watching our primitive colony ships, we were building something else entirely. We call them the Silent Fleet. The human ships moved with predatory grace, their pilots executing maneuvers that should have pulped organic crews with G-forces. Jakris didn't know that every vessel was crewed by volunteers who'd undergone genetic augmentation, another technology humans had conveniently hidden from galactic eyes. "All ships, open fire." Jakris commanded. "Show these primitives the might of—" His flagship rocked as a human railgun slug traveling at 0.3 C punched through his shields like they were paper. The adaptive shielding that had never been breached simply hadn't been designed for kinetic weapons moving at such relativistic speeds. The Dominion had fought energy-based warfare for so long, they'd forgotten about Newton's laws. Around him, his fleet began to die. Human missiles didn't just explode, they fragmented into thousands of submunitions, each one a thinking-seeking piece of death. Human point defense didn't miss. Human electronic warfare turned Dominion ships against each other, convinced their own allies were enemies. And then came the humans' true answer to the invasion. The Kasaba howitzer platforms hidden throughout the Sol system, weapons that turned nuclear detonations into directed energy lances, capable of vaporizing capital ships at lunar distances. "Fall back," Jakris screamed. "Retreat to quantum slip distance." But the humans had thought of that too. Gravity wells activated throughout the system, another hidden technology, preventing quantum drives from engaging. The Dominion fleet was trapped. In 6 hours it was over. Of 200 warships, 3 escaped to tell the tale. Jakris was not among the survivors. The Galactic Council reconvened an emergency session, the chamber buzzing with fear and confusion. How had the humans hidden such capabilities? How had every intelligence agency in the galaxy missed this? Sarah Chen stood before them now, no longer in the observation gallery but at the speaker's podium as an equal. "Honored members," she began, her voice echoing in the stunned silence. "Let me explain something about humanity. We are a species born of conflict. We spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing each other. We weaponized everything from rocks to atoms to information itself. We built weapons that could end our world 1,000 times over, and we held back from using them through sheer willpower alone." She paused, letting her words sink in. "When you came to our system, you didn't bring war. You brought a minor disagreement, a conflict, a skirmish. Because war, true war, human war, is something you cannot comprehend. It's total. It's existential. It's every resource, every mind, every soul bent toward a single purpose: victory at any cost." Ambassador Theknor, his scales now pale with fear, found his voice. You deceived us, hid your technology. We learned," Sarah corrected. "We watched you for 2 decades. We saw how the Council operated, demanding tribute, crushing the weak, respecting only strength. So we showed you weakness while we prepared. We let you underestimate us. And when you came for what you thought would be an easy conquest, you found out what happens when humanity stops being polite." "What do you want?" Velshan asked, his crystalline form dimming with distress. Sarah's smile returned, warmer this time but no less dangerous. "Respect, equality, and for the record, we're keeping those Dominion ships we captured. The survivors will be returned safely, of course. We're not monsters. But consider this your lesson. Humanity doesn't want your wars. We'll happily trade, share culture, explore together. But if you force us to fight—" She leaned forward, her eyes hard as diamonds. "We won't give you a war. We'll give you a conflict. And trust me, you don't want to see what happens when we decide to escalate to an actual war." The Council voted unanimously to grant humanity full membership, with no tribute required. In the Human Defense Fleet Command Center, Admiral Rodriguez turned to Sarah's holographic image. "Think they got the message?" "They got it," Sarah replied. "Humanity's official policy remains peaceful cooperation." "And unofficially?" Sarah grinned. "Speak softly and carry a railgun that shoots city-sized slugs at 1/3 the speed of light." The Admiral laughed. "You know what the best part is? We didn't even show them the really scary stuff." Sarah's grin widened. "Let's keep it that way. After all, we're not looking for war. Just conflicts?" "Just conflicts," she agreed. "And only when they start them. When humanity reached the stars, they brought 2 things: an open hand of friendship and a closed fist of war. The galaxy learned to shake the hand lest they meet the fist, and the fist humanity promised was far more terrible than anything they'd yet revealed.